So, thank you guys and welcome to the Middle East. We're so honored to have you here in the Middle East for the first time, and we're happy to see you guys. So basically, being a gamer who grew up with Resident Evil 1 and as a character, and then you have this kind of Resident Evil 7, and you promote for it as being returning to the root of Resident Evil. Now, basically, can you clarify, because I'm still cannot get basically what is the root that you're looking for, because whenever I feel going back to the root of Resident Evil, what comes to my mind again, Jill and Chris and the atmosphere and how they were in a castle, basically trying to survive. Now, and basically the third person view as well. And now we have it a new formula, and then again returning back to the kind of root of the franchise. So basically, I would love to hear it from the director as well as the producer. What do you think about this, guys?
Yeah, it's true that when you say the roots of the series, you've got things like Chris and Jill exploring the mansion in third person. What we mean though when we say we're returning to the roots with 7 is not that we are literally reproducing the same gameplay experience. We want you to feel the same way in Resident Evil 7 as people did when they played Resident Evil 1. The way we want to make you feel that is by giving you this new perspective with the latest graphics technology and photorealistic graphics. We think that you will actually feel the same way you did back then.
Perfect. That is great, and hopefully, so far, whatever we've seen, it's amazing as it comes to the content. Now that leads me to the second question. Morning in the keynote morning, you kind of divided the audience for Resident Evil to two different basically generation of Resident Evil. We have the 1, 2, 3 together and 4, 5, 6 together. Now when it comes to 7, what is the target audience we're aiming for? Is it these people? Because that 1, 2, 3 will be basically the hardcore fans. 4, 5 and 6, the new basically probably comers to the franchise. So with 7, who is basically the target we're aiming for?
I think the new Resident Evil 7 should appeal to both styles of player, because while we are introducing a lot more horror back into the series than we've seen with 4, 5 and 6, at the same time I think a lot of people, when they try and go back and play the first Resident Evil, while it's a great game design, it is 20 years old now, so there's a lot of modernization you can do to make a game more smoothly playing. So I think that with Resident Evil 7 we've been able to achieve the atmosphere of Resident Evil original games, but bring it a little bit more up to date and still make it a scary game while make it a very smooth gameplay experience that modern gamers are more accustomed to. Either way, I mean, you've got all 6 games, but 7 is the latest in the series, so it isn't a reboot, it's definitely the follow-on from those games.
Awesome. Now last question. Again, turning back to the keynote morning, you divided again 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6. Now 7, probably 8 and 9. Are they going to be as well a new generation together? Are we kind of expecting more of Resident Evil to be the same formula?
We do definitely want 7 to be a stable foundation on which we can build further Resident Evil games. But in terms of specifics, we want to just see how the gamers receive Resident Evil 7 first, and then we'll consider what we want to do next with the next games.
I mean, why didn't you guys, instead of having it 7 and make it as a spin-off? In fact, personally speaking, I would accept it as a spin-off rather than and a direct kind of installment behind 6 and 7. So 6, sorry, because again, something new to me, new character and new people and new kind of way of playing, sort of. So if it's spin-off, it'd be kind of a bit easier, because now 7 and then building up the old characters I love, Claire, Jill, Chris, everyone. And again, what is going to happen to these people and their stories? This is my concern.
Well, for the fans who are worried that we'll no longer see the continuing adventures of Chris, Leon, Jill, etc., we haven't reset the series. It's not a reboot.
Yeah.
It's a new game with some new characters and settings, but the Resident Evil universe still exists.
Perfect.
This game is taking place within that universe. It's shining a light on a different corner of the Resident Evil universe, but we're not saying goodbye to everyone.
I see.
So you can look forward to seeing them again sometime in the future, so don't worry too much about that. We are often also, as you said, asked, this should be a spin-off, or if the character characters are different, then it can't be a mainline series entry. But thinking back in Resident Evil 1, you didn't know who Chris and Jill were. They were new characters, and they were wandering around this mansion. You don't know where they are. You don't know why the zombies are appearing. The game is so full of mysteries that that's actually part of the appeal of the first game. And now it's familiar, it's easy to forget that part of the reason we were so scared and excited playing that game is that we didn't know what was going to happen. So we feel that the best way to make sure you have the same experience in Resident Evil 7 is by giving you a new character, you're not sure, can he survive this experience? Will he get out alive? Giving you a new setting, it's like, I don't know where this is, why is he here? And then having new creatures and stuff is like, you know, what is this thing doing here? If we give you only familiar elements, then you're no longer scared because you feel a bit comfortable and you know that the hero characters are going to survive for another day because they're so strong.
Exactly.
This time around, you really don't know what's going to happen, and that's what's the true Resident Evil experience.
Now, you know, when you said it, now it came to my mind that I was thinking, what is going to happen to Ethan himself?
言われて納得しました。イーさんの行方はわからないのは確かですよね。
Anyways, thank you guys for your time and wonderful, amazing time, and I know, and looking forward basically for Resident Evil 7, and I'm sure, because you are confident it's gonna be amazing, so basically I'm as well confident it's gonna be something big. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.